Hello and welcome to the second part in our series on Battle of Siffin. If you watched our last video, you know that we introduced the Battle of Siffin as a pivotal point in human history. We must first learn about the two main characters of this battle, Ali and Muawiyah. So today, we look at the very early parts of their lives and how they began their journeys that led them to face off in Siffin. It is the year 610 AD. Islam is in its infancy period and Muhammad, the Prophet of Islam, has begun his message. This is done in secret out of necessity. Muhammad is from the tribe of Quraysh, but his monotheistic religion is not accepted by most of his tribesmen. Quraysh is the ruling tribe of Mecca, a mercantile aristocracy not unlike the Venetian Republic. The recent collapse of Hashemite and Ghassanid kingdoms has left a power vacuum in Arabia. This is an opportunity for a new Qurayshite kingdom to rise. Quraysh have established Mecca as a quarterly haram. This means Mecca is a haven from all the intertribal warfare and raiding that is endemic amongst the tribes of Arabia. Thus, Mecca is not only a center of trade, but also a safe place for pilgrimage to the local shrine called Kaaba. Although originally founded by Prophet Abraham as the house to the one God, Kaaba now houses many idols of both Arabs and non-Arabs. There is much rivalry within the Quraysh. The tribe consists of at least 10 clans. These include Hashim, the clan of the Prophet himself and his cousin Ali, and Umayyah, the tribe of Muawiyah. The Umayyads see themselves as rivals to the Hashemites. This may have started a few generations ago over a dispute between Hashim, the great-grandfather of the Prophet, and his nephew Umayyah, son of Abd-Shams. This was over Hashim's leadership of the Quraysh. Umayyah was not successful in gathering enough support as Hashim was both popular and capable and had the support of all his brothers, even Umayyah's own father Abd-Shams. Later, Umayyah's son Harb continued the dispute with Abdul Muttalib, son of Hashim, over the custodianship of Kaaba. Yet Abdul Muttalib was an eminent figure and much loved by his people. Hence, he was successful in defending his clan's position and himself as the head of Quraysh. But this was not the end of the disputes between the Hashemites and the Umayyads, and Muhammad would receive his strongest opposition from Abu Sufyan, the head of Umayyah and the father of Muawiyah. Around 613 AD, Muhammad began his public recitation of the revelations. God should not be worshipped through offerings to idols and his house should be emptied of false gods. As we said, the Qurayshites would not support any change to the status quo. Kaaba is the centerpiece of their trading hub and to lose the idols would mean losing the merchants and the pilgrims with their generous offerings. As a result of this, Muhammad's supporters from the Quraysh are few. Abu Talib, the Prophet's uncle, and his children are his main supporters. Despite being the head of Hashim clan, Abu Talib does not possess any financial power. So much so that a few years ago his kinsmen each agreed to take in one of his children to ease his financial restraint. His nephew Muhammad chose Ali, taking him into his household. Thus, Ali was brought up by Muhammad and became very close to him, so much so that he followed him everywhere. Prior to his prophethood, Muhammad would spend a few months every year worshipping God in the cave of Hira outside Mecca. During this time, Ali was the only person to visit him and communicate with him. So, when Muhammad received the first revelations in the cave of Hira, Ali was the first one to hear and accept his message. Ali is only 12 years old and does not hold much power over the rest of his tribe. But this has not stopped him from making his support public for Islam. He did this first on the day of Ashira. Ashira means close family, and this was the first occasion on which Muhammad publicized his message. On this day, he invited his kinsfolk for a meal. He then ordered Ali to prepare lamb meat and milk to serve. After everyone had finished eating, Muhammad invited them to accept Allah as the only God and him as his messenger. He then said to them, "Who will respond to my call? Who will become my brother, my deputy and my successor?" Here, Ali was the only person to stand up and respond. The Prophet asked him to sit down and addressed his kinsmen again. Once again, no one would stand up except Ali, and once again, the Prophet asked him to sit down. The same sequence of events was repeated for a third time, and then the Prophet held Ali close to him and said, "Behold, this is my brother, my deputy and successor. All must listen to him and obey him." In 616 AD, seeing Islam gather momentum, the Umayyads, alongside another prominent clan of Quraysh, the Maximites, forced the rest of the Meccans to boycott the Muslims and the Hashemites. This was to force the Hashemites to withdraw their support for the Muslims. So Abu Sufyan and his supporters forbade marriage and trade with them. Hence, Muhammad and his supporters lived in hardship and suffered hunger. The Qurayshites allowed Muslims little safety and made multiple attempts to assassinate Muhammad in his sleep. Hence, Abu Talib would frequently change Muhammad's resting place and replace him with Ali to misdirect the assassins. This managed to foil their attempts each time. By 619 AD, it had become clear that the boycott was not achieving its main purpose, as the Hashemites would not turn their back on Muhammad. Hence, their sympathizers amongst the Quraysh grew, leading to the dissolvement of the boycott. These 3 years were the hardest years in Muhammad's life. In the last year of the boycott, Abu Talib passed away from illness, and later that year, Muhammad lost his wife, Khadija. This deprived him of his 2 most important supporters, so this year was named the Year of Sorrow. At this point in time, Ali and Muawiyah are 18 and 17 years old respectively. They have already picked their sides. Ali, a young man brought up by the Prophet, is following him in his every footstep. Likewise, Muawiyah is following his own father Abu Sufyan, who is opposing Islam and its Prophet with all his might. We shall continue following Ali and Muawiyah until they come to face each other at Siffin. Next, we'll talk about the rise of Medina, the first Islamic kingdom, and what role our leading characters played in that. Until then, goodbye.